All right, so just wanted to finish out these examples here by just doing these last three examples. This is just the second part of my factoring trinomials video. So, all right, so we got three examples here, trinomials, and I'm just going to do all these. I know I've already done the x squared plus 7x minus 30 in the last video, but I'm going to do it in this video. I'm also going to do it using the A times C method that we've used. I know that we normally would try to use the other method because it uses a lot less time, but I just wanted to show you how you could use the A times C method to to get you the same answer there. So again, just kind of showing you how to do it. So okay, so starting with example 5, well, let me get the pen going here. So got the example 5, and let me get black there. So we're starting off with taking out a GCF. We start with this 3, 19, and 6. Well, I can't really take any GCFs out of that, so I'm going to go ahead and take my A value and my C value. I'm just going to multiply them together. So you get 13 times 3 times 6, which gives me 18. And then so you set up our little diamond there, and then on the bottom there I'm going to write a 19. And you want to try and find numbers that multiply to 18 but add to 19, and it just so happens that those two numbers are the number 18 and the number 1. All right? So 18 times 1 gets you 18, 18 plus 1 gets you 19. All right? So we got our two numbers here. Now we just split up our B value. We bring down our A value as it is, 3x squared. 19x will become plus 18x plus 1x, or just x if you like that, and then plus 6, okay? All right, so then from there, turns into factor by grouping. We just group our first two parentheses together, our first two terms together, and our last two terms. We factor out the GCF of our first parenthesis, and I see we can take ourselves out a 3x, and we're going to be left with a x plus 6 inside. 18 divided by 3 is 6. And then x plus 6, it doesn't look like we can take anything out of that, but when we can't take out anything, we basically kind of, and I'm going to do air quotes here, we can take out a positive 1, okay? So we take out the positive 1, and we're basically still left with what we have inside there, because x divided by 1 is x, and 6 divided by 1 is 6. So, but when you get to the point where you can't take out a GCF out of one of your parentheses, you basically have to, and again, I'll use air quotes here, you have to take out a positive 1, and that's what you're going to combine there. So we got our two parentheses that are the same. We got our GCFs on the outside. Now we combine them, all right? Had two parentheses here. In this first parenthesis, I'm going to combine my two GCFs, so it's going to be a 3x and then a plus 1. And then on the last parenthesis, and on my last parenthesis here, I'm going to combine what I have inside my parentheses to get me x plus 6. Okay? Alrighty, so let us go on to example number 7, 2x squared minus 18x plus 40. And if you look at that, hey, you can take out a GCF out of that. If you look there, you can take a 2 out. You're going to be left with x squared minus 9x, and it looks like a plus 20, all right? All right. Now, remember what we do here, we're worrying about the trinomial that we have left inside the parentheses. This 2 out here, I really don't care about it. I still need to keep it there, but at this point, it can just kind of hang out, do its thing, not need to worry about it. Okay, so x squared minus 9x plus 20. I can't really take any more GCFs out of that. Now, originally, what we would normally do, and for most of you are already going to do it, we would, set up 20 and negative. We'd set up, 20 on the top, negative 9 on the bottom. We'd find the numbers that multiply to 20, add to negative 9, and those would be our factors. Now, we're going to basically do that, but we're also going to basically do it in the terms of kind of how we did it up here, like the factor by grouping. Again, this is a method that you don't have to use. I just want to show it to you so that you have these different methods to fall back on, all right? Especially when I remember what I said in the last video. If you forget how to factor trinomials, fall back on this method right here, all right? I know it can be a little bit long and convoluted, but this method gets you the right answer will get you the right answer all the time, okay? So again, we take our A value and multiply it by our C value, and A is, well, just 1 times 20, which is just going to get us 20. And then we take our B value, which is -9, and then we just again, we find numbers that multiply to -20 but add to -9, and it just so happens that -5 and -4 both multiply to a +20 and add to a -9, okay? And then from there, I'm going to split up my B value. Again, I know some of you people would see this and kind of move on to another step, but I'm just going to show you this other step here. Oh, come on. So it'd be -5x minus 4x plus 20. And it would stay the same there. And I'm going to go over here to kind of show you, factor it out, and we'd still be left with the 2 out in front there. Still be left with the 2 out in front. I can take out of this first term, I can take out an x. I'm left with an x minus 5 inside. And then in this term, well, it looks like my first term is a negative, so I automatically have to take out a negative. And -4x plus 20, well, looks like I could take out a -4 there, all right? And then what I'm left with, -4 divided by -4 is just 1. Don't leave the x, which is x. +20 divided by -4 is -5. And again, you are left with the same thing inside the parentheses on both sides, all right? And then from there, we combine into 2 parentheses what's on the outside, which is x minus 4, and then what's on the inside, which is x minus 5, and that's the final answer right there, okay? Now again, a lot of you guys will see this step. You know, if you see this polynomial, you'll go to this step, and then you'll basically go to this step, to this step, to this step. All right, which is perfectly fine. Okay. Again, I just want to show, because I feel like every time I show some of these different examples, we get confused. Don't think of this as just, think of this as a potential example you want to use. But if this is not jiving for you right now, then let's try to find another example. All right, or try to find another thing. All right, we'll try to find a way to make it work for you. All right, I am going to pause the video real quick so we can work out this last example, and that will wrap it up. Okay, so working out this last example here, we got ourselves x squared plus 7x minus 30, and I want to first of all I look for my GCF, and need to go back here, set the pen up. Look for a GCF, 1, 7, -30. There's not really a GCF I can do there, so I go to automatically multiply my A times my C. 1 times a -30 is just, well, a -30. And then I put my B value down here, which is a +7. Now I'm looking for numbers that multiply to -30, but add to the +7. And if you're lucky there, you will get yourself a -10, actually no, +10, excuse me, and a -3, all right? And then from there, split up our B value, our x squared, and our -30 is going to stay the same. We would do, let's start with plus 10x minus 3x. We can go that route, okay? Again, the order of these does not matter. You could do not minus 3x or plus 10x. Just make sure you do your factoring correctly. And from there, it turns into factor by grouping. So I'm going to group my parentheses here and here. I look at my x squared plus 10x. I can take out an x from there, and I'm left with x plus 10. Over here, my first term right here, this -3x is automatically negative, so I'm going to take out a -3. And I'll take out a negative, and then I could see a 3 and 30, I can take out a -3. So, and then from here, I'm going to do this. Let me erase this real quick. And when I go here, I'm left with, well, -3, take out a -3, I'm left with just x. -30 divided by 3, that's going to give me a +10. And from there, that wraps it up. All right. And then we got the one last step. We got this, these two are the same, so we can do this and this. Combine what we had on the outside here, this x and -3 turns into x minus 3. And then on the inside here, we take x plus 10, x plus 10. Those are the exact same things. That's what we're looking for. We can bring that down here to give ourselves x plus 10, okay? That right there is our final answer. All right, so that wraps up the factoring trinomials videos. The next video, hopefully I can get this done maybe in one video, I'm going to do of difference of squares. And then that will more than likely wrap up the Unit 4 videos. Thank you.